And we are live. I'm just gonna check on my Instagram as well. Just wanted to make sure we're live as well. We will let people join and start in a couple of minutes. Hi everyone, keep joining. Okay, so let's get started. It's already 1 minute, and we'll ask people to join. Okay. Just quickly gonna see on my Instagram. I think this is some issue quickly. It's not going live on Instagram. It's supposed to go. Okay, let's get started. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for our third episode, Her Hustle. Today, I am collaborating with amazing Rebecca, and Rebecca has been doing amazing work in terms of leading two companies and in HR tech. So, today, we will learn a lot about what is that important to have for early stage entrepreneurs. And you will be going away with 6 months tech game plan with me. So that's quickly about herself. Before I move forward, I just wanted to share about her hustle webinar. So this is like a feminine energy webinar that we started as part of Opal and Castle to empower all the early stage entrepreneurs who are actually struggling. So this webinar is not just another webinar which you come over and your hosts speak, but you also get real tips. And we are bringing 11 experts from varied fields, whether it's financial literacy or HR, innovation, sales tech, and beyond. So stay tuned. This is not just one webinar, but this is a series. You get access to those 11 experts, those who are building their own companies, and they will be real tips actionable that you can take home and adapt accordingly. Not just this, but we also empower you to have this entire space for networking. So it's not just we are sharing about ourselves, but we also would love to know about those who are joining, what you're doing, what you're building, network with us, share about what your business is all about. So this is not just a webinar, but a space for you to network, grow, understand, and collaborate with others. So that's quickly about Her Hustle webinar. I am your host today. I run Opal and Castle and Unify Client. Opal and Castle is a company where we help customers transform their digital growth, and Unify Client is a CRM that empowers you to streamline and scale with ease with tech without any hassles. Quickly about myself, I have been in food tech for my entire career and recently moved to tech. I also worked with Microsoft and brands like Coca-Cola, Nestle in the past. And now I'm building Opal and Castle and Unify Client. Just hand it over the mic to Rebecca to introduce herself.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Jagmeet, and thank you for having me today. I love the the Her Hustle sort of thing that we've got going on here. All of the sessions have been so informative, and thank you so much for putting together this wonderful community and for having me here. So I'm Rebecca Lyons. I'm the founder and CEO of both Xera Solutions and OrgPath. Both are HR tech companies that focus on different things. I have 10 years in sales operations, digital transformation, and HR tech. I'm the CEO, like I said, of those organizations where we're focused on data-powered, inclusive HR solutions. My specialization is in AI and HR analytics, and I'm an executive advisor on ethical people-first growth strategies.
Thank you so much. I think I was on mute, but thank you so much for joining and collaborating and sharing your wisdom with all the people those are joining us today. So let's get started with the 6 months game plan. I have been doing all these activities for more than 1 year, and of course, along the way, I committed some mistakes that I don't want you all to go through the similar kind of journey. But shorten your learning curve. That's what I'm trying to do today. It could be really overwhelming. So let's say if you're building your own company and also working full time, that's even a nightmare because you have so much to do and only these many hours in a day. So let's simplify it. Also, if there are some activities that are there that you should be focusing on your 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, but you should pretty much do it all together so that you scale it. So it's not like stepwise process, but you can also do it all together depending on what you're comfortable with. So let's get started with the a silent salesperson. So whenever you start a company, so the first thing is let's make a website. Everybody can do that, but here is how the website is working for your customers and not for you. This is a big difference from a person who just wants to put their business or want to scale. I think this is a clear differentiator here. So as soon as you have an idea and you want to launch your business, register your company, have a website, and website should be optimized. And those basic things you can do that can help you scale later. And part of it is also SEO. So first of all, when you make a website, have clarity in your mindset, like what exactly you are trying to achieve. Whether you are in service, whether you are in e-com, then accordingly choose a content management system that empowers you, whether you want no code or high code websites. Honestly, in the beginning, you should definitely avoid using any high code website development, because first it is just going to unnecessarily delay your entire process. It's very difficult to update that information, because you always need a person. So it comes with a very heavy cost. But you should definitely use all the CMSs that are there, like Shopify, Squarespace, Wix, WordPress, depending on your needs. So once you clear on that one, as soon as you register your company, I think that should be just like a process to have yourself on Google. So put yourself on Google Map, register on your Google My Business. I think these are something very fundamental and important steps that you can take before you even start reaching out to people, because this builds credibility and trust. And of course, if you can offer some free tips and advice, that could be your lead magnet. So it could be an e-com or ebook for e-com, how to run your e-com business, or it could be a checklist, or it could be free templates as well. It could be as easy as that. So generate or provide value before people buy your services. I think this is the key tip. And if you have this, honestly, you look much more professional. You're able to cater your customers in a far better way. Um, of course, social media, you can do it immediately, but if you think it's overwhelming, so let's take one step at a time. As you are building your website and setting up your entire business and understanding what strategies will work, do the market research. I think social media in 2025 is so important. It's as good as having your own website. So if you have a website, you have to be present on social media. I think this is what I felt when I actually started, working on digital marketing even 10 years ago when I started my company, my career. It's like you have to be there where your customers are. So either pick two platforms where you're actively responding, connecting, outreaching to people about what you're doing, what you're trying to build. But it's important to have all the other social media platforms as well. You can use some schedulers like Later, Loomly, and other platforms that are available. But that really amplifies your reach, and because your customers are there, so they eventually will go to your website. That's how it is. However, you should never chase numbers. You should never chase engagement. You should never chase perfection on social media, especially when you're very early stage and you're trying to build something, because you have your business, your sales calls, your networking calls. So this should not be a place where you really get overwhelmed, but just think as if it's another platform for you to talk about what value you're generating. So social media is equally important. If you can put yourself as your own face, that will be even better. Now about SEO. So even though there are a lot of misconceptions that it is expensive, time consuming, and you need some specialized skill in order to run the SEO. But if you just follow these 3 4 steps that I'm going to tell you, I think you're set for success, especially in the beginning. When you don't have budget, you're trying to figure out so many things, and SEO comes like the last option when people try to grow, and they only consider when they want to scale. However, as soon as you have your website, so having the right structure or technical structure of your website is actually a part of doing the SEO right. Just go to Google Ads, find out the keywords that you are about your company that you're trying to generate value for, maybe 5 to 10. Take those keywords, do the market research, come to your website, and start everything from there. Whether you are writing a blog, whether you're writing your website content, whether you are talking to customers, building your elevator pitch, because in today's era, it's all about data. So it's not just that you had a gut feeling and you started doing something. Data has to make sense. I mean, with AI, everything, they read that you are an e-commerce company before they know who is the owner of the company, right? So that's how Google or these search engines are reading you. So those keywords are like so important. Your research will be very important. So once you have those titles where you need to put the information, your structure is all good. And believe me, you can do that. Even CMSs do provide you this kind of platform where you can actually put those keywords, all text, you meta descriptions, and these keywords wherever you're putting the information. Now, once that you have that, without getting overwhelmed, have one blog per month and take that blog and transform into 5 social posts. It could be reels or any other format of communication. That becomes very easy. And of course, if you can, you must set your Google Search Console, have the structure right, Google Analytics to understand where you're getting the traffic from, and eventually we'll go to paid ads. That's also another way to do it, but this is just a tip without wasting, or I would say without any investments. So that's about quick wins on social media and SEO. Here's a bonus tip for all of us. I know we are outreaching, we do a lot of things, and I see many a times we don't build email lists, which is like a biggest nightmare if you're trying to scale, if you're trying to grow your company. So you give so much to internet, on social media, website, talking to people, traveling, but if you don't come back and have your email list, and you're not building the relationship with your customers, I think there's a huge gap, and it will take you forever to grow. Because as entrepreneurs, we feel that we put something, we're not getting out of it. This could be a key reason. So when you come back, follow up with them, build a relationship, and email is very important. And of course, you always need to secure buying from them, not randomly send them spam emails. So that's a pro tip here. This is my absolute favorite, and Rebecca will agree. I am all over the place on social media, and I think your personal brand is very imperative, especially in the early stage. Nobody knows Opal and Castle. Nobody knew Opal and Castle a year ago. They all knew was Jagmeet Kaur because I worked with some people. They were my work pals and my friends. They were seeing me doing a lot of things. So I think it's important to have a face to the brand. So if you're not comfortable putting yourself out there talking, or maybe your face, taking daily pictures or reels, or maybe dancing for some matter, you can have the faceless content. You can just come occasionally live on stories if you're not comfortable having your posts on your social media or on your website. And people always see when they start, I just started, I'm very naive, I'm very new. Go from these words and put an emphasis and showcase the value that you have been doing. So, in my experience, I am running a tech company, but I come from food tech and I have a lot of experience in terms of building Coca Cola, Nestle, their branding, and how they work. So I brought that experience into here, and I am a very I'm very vocal about it, that I worked with those brands and I'm bringing the value. So it's not that you're always going to be new at some industry, some level, some phase. So instead of emphasizing that you are new, acknowledge that for yourself, but you must have your own about us, your picture, your founder name, everything on your website. And even if you have more co-founders, you must have it. You can go another level here. You can also put case studies of what you have done. It could not be related to your work. If there are any legal clause that you've signed with your company, you can always write on on the bottom, or if you have any contract, that this is my experience. Nobody can take it from you, right? But you can always put a disclaimer that this project I've done with so and so company. That brings credibility, that becomes builds trust for you, for your customers to reach out to you, so why they should be hiring you. So these are few common practices. Again, on the thought leadership part, the same kind of content pieces you should share on LinkedIn, because people see you as a professional. That also boosts your confidence. That has happened with me. So these are few things that you can do, and personal branding is a huge that way. Of course, there are other tips that are written here. You're welcome to adapt those. Then about the networking and outreach. This could also be there before you even start a company. If you're launching a product and you need some resources and help and you're testing your idea, more than welcome to do this. However, before you reach out and you're solid about that you want to run your company, this is what you're doing, I highly recommend you to have those basic digital assets like a good picture, a good title on LinkedIn, consistency, presence, networking, understanding on digital platform, because it's less expensive. You're just sitting, in your home in front of your computer, and you just outreach to people, have that nice, confident smile, talk to people, and then you talk to people in person. And then, of course, when your elevator pitch is ready, you're good to go. However, you must outreach people. When you do outreach people on LinkedIn or any other platforms, they always check your profile. So make sure you have your website, your social media, everything nicely placed, so that they can come and see what you're doing before they even get on a call with you. And slowly, in addition to your email list building, email outreach, cold outreach, a warm networking outreach is always a win-win in the beginning. So even if it's getting overwhelming for you to come on LinkedIn and show every day, just dedicate 1 hour in the entire week and you're good to go. outreach 5 people in a week, or maybe one person in a week. If it's too much for you, you can go up to hundreds, but those are some basic things, how you can outreach. That's about the networking piece. And when there are a lot of inflow of information, a lot of calls are coming, you want to make sure that you send them reminders. They show up, there is a proper follow up. So you need to put a pipeline in the place so that you build, and eventually they will buy your product or services. So for this, make sure you have automation in place. As it could be as easy as having Calendly, because it gives you 2 hour reminder. And honestly, when I'm saying this, I've gone through this, I've tested this, and these tips are so important to increase your productivity. And you're not going to scrape one every single month, but growing from there. And that's why tech outreach is very important. It could be as simple as that: have a CRM and buy it for like 20 or $15 a month, and it will set the automation or follow up the sequence that you want. It could be MailChimp, it could be HubSpot, or any CRM out there which is of your choice. So, which is very important. Now what? So you have been doing a lot of things for 6 months now. So after, let's say, quarterly or 6 monthly, sit with yourself, because you are your own team, and see what's working for you. It's very important to reflect as a CEO, like what's working for you, because a CEO doesn't do everything. If you really want to scale and reach out to that level and have revenue for your company and retire early or go on holidays, that's not how you'll be doing for the rest of your life, right? So it's very important to sit back and see what's working for you. Even if getting more people on your website, meta ads are helping, you should keep doing it and keep optimizing it and keep refreshing the content. I see people just run the ad that's working for them, and they keep doing it for a year. Eventually that will expire. And if LinkedIn is not working for you because you're more into skincare product person, then if Instagram is working for you, be there. And then have a very less content on LinkedIn. However, if you're a very B2B person, you don't have to be on Instagram, but post very constantly on LinkedIn. So these kind of things are working. And again, content, keywords, have a reflection and track your progress. This is for sure is helping you to scale, to understand what's working or not, but it also empowers you to build the processes. Because if you want to scale, you need to have a team. And if you want to have a team, you want to tell them, like, this is the process that worked for you, you can just replicate it or adapt it accordingly. So that saves your a lot of energy and help you optimize as well. So that's quickly about me. If you guys are seeing me, I will be hosting or offering a free call for you for 1 hour. Let's get on a call and understand what you're trying to build, where you're struggling, and I can help you with understanding what keywords, how your website is working. So all the things that are listed here, if it's not visible, you can always reach out to me, and we'll get on a call. And after 48 hours, you get all these details, a detailed personalized plan just for you to get started. So that's about how you can get started, and I hope that's helpful. I hand it over the mic to Rebecca. Over to you about HR tech and future.
Thank you so much, Jagmeet. That was wonderful to hear. And I think there's a lot of actionable takeaways that she provided for those looking to grow their business. So I am here to talk about HR, DEI, and how AI fits into that equation. And when I talk to founders, the question that always comes up is AI going to replace us? But what if that's the wrong question? What if the real question is, how can AI help us build a more human-centered business, right? The stat that I have on the screen here from PwC is that only 6% of HR leaders believe that AI will replace human roles in HR specifically, but 77% believe it will augment and enhance them. And I think this goes beyond just HR roles. It's really, if we look more broadly at the workforce, there's only so much that artificial intelligence is able to fully replace. The human aspect is there for a reason. And I think there's a lot that we can use AI to leverage more sustainability, more efficiency within how we do our day-to-day work. So the opportunity here is AI is not here to take over. It's here to support. If we approach it with intention, I think it can help us to free up and focus on our people, our purpose, and our strategic growth. We can go to the next slide, please. So let's talk about integrating diversity, equity, and inclusion. So when we talk about DEI, we know that diverse teams don't just feel good, they perform better. Lots of research shows they make better decisions, innovate more, and generate stronger returns. And DEI starts early. From your first 5 to 10 hires, your culture is starting to take shape within your organization. It's not just human resources, it impacts your product, your brand, and your growth as an organization. Your people are so, so, so important. So think about DEI as the backbone of your company's DNA. You've got a diverse workforce, regardless of who's a part of that team. We have different abilities, different genders, different races, religions, and all of that fun stuff. And it's important for organizations to support the diverse workforce they've got. Next slide, please. So the role of AI when it comes to HR and DEI. AI is already embedded in a lot of HR teams in hiring, performance, learning, engagement. It's not neutral. It reflects us, our choices, our data, our blind spots, and bias can sneak in through algorithms, through training sets, and even the way that results are interpreted. So your role as a founder is to lead with intention. Choose tools that are aligned with your values. Ask hard questions and demand transparency. Next slide, please. Thank you. So how do we make this work? Our must-have DEI tech practices are to take a look at your tools. Who builds them? Who benefits from them? Are they equitable? Take a look at that and make sure you're aligning yourself with organizations that make sense for you. Be data aware. Is your data diverse and representative of the whole? Make sure that you're connecting to as many data sources as you have available to you. Definitely use transparency features. Can your platform explain its decisions? Because we know with generative AI, sometimes it's putting out an answer that's based on what you fed to it, right? So we want to understand how it came to that conclusion. So that's very, very transparent. And also choose inclusive vendors. So work with those designing with equity in mind. So your HR and DEI tech toolkit here, if we talk about how your tech stack might look, you don't need a fancy tech stack to start strong with DEI and HR. So look at people analytics. That can be very basic dashboards using Google Sheets or Notion templates. You don't need to go and implement the most robust Tableau system. You can start small. If you're collecting the data, it's going to help you in the long run. You can use either things to check biases such as Textio, OpenAI moderation prompts. There's many other tools that exist. Axera has these features as well. Use learning platforms such as LinkedIn Learning, Coursera. There's lots of information available to upskill the team when it comes to DEI and best practices for HR. And look at AI-powered tools like Axera Solutions. So they're built to help you take action with the DEI lens, and you can certainly deliver a more efficient and strategic approach by using the technology that's available to you. It's about small strategic moves that add up. So some common pitfalls just to keep in mind. There's a few traps that I see sometimes. So thinking that DEI is a nice to have. I think I had alluded to this earlier. Your team is already diverse. It is important to be equitable and inclusive when you're managing your team. It's a must-have, not a nice to have. Your people will perform if you treat them well, right?
Yeah.
Don't automate before you're aligned on your values. And it's very difficult to automate processes that are inconsistent. So make sure that you're very solid on that before you try to start with your automation. And don't wait to scale to start DEI initiatives. Waiting until you're bigger to get serious makes it difficult to integrate that into your framework. So, starting from the get go, your early culture is sticky, and what you build now becomes your foundation. Be intentional today, not someday. Excellent. So, some of the final thoughts I had in the mindset shift that I wanted to leave you with today is DEI is not a checklist. It's not separate from growth, it is growth. So when you bake inclusivity into your strategy, you build better teams, better products, and more resilient companies. Start small, stay curious, be intentional. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to start, right? And so, for my offer here, if something sparked something with you today, an idea, a challenge, a question, I would love to hear from you. I'm offering a free 20-minute strategy call for all webinar attendees, and we can talk about how AI and DEI can work together in your business. Feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. That's where I'm most active to talk about that.
Awesome. That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing such a crisp, to the point information, which was honestly needed. And honestly, people that have joined us or will see the video later, they will understand about the future strategy. And I have been there. I understood, like, these are the things, I'll take care of it later. But sooner you understand, the better it is. As you just say that, if you start early, it just helps us streamline the strategies along the way. And I also loved another point that you mentioned. So do not rush to automate things.
Yeah.
I think that's how in my 6 months game plan, the scaling and automation was towards the end, because you're just trying to make sense what's working for you. But I really love the key takeaways that you've just mentioned for all of us here. And just as Rebecca has this offer, you can also get on call with me, as I mentioned before, and would love to provide you with the personalized proposal that you can go home and take a look what's working for you. So with this, you also get access to our Pass It On Connect, a very active entrepreneurship community that we have. Would love to have you join there. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or Rebecca. We both are part of the community, and it's so amazing to see how other entrepreneurs buy your services, sell their services, or collaborate all together. So, with this, I think we will end the live session. But we thank you so much for those who joined or will see this video later. If you have any question, feel free to reach out to us and sign up for all the other webinars that are pending, that are happening in until next end of the year, actually. So, with that, thank you so much for joining us. Have a good day.
Thank
Bye.
you, Jagmeet.
Bye.
Bye.